Redneck Ruckers, my name's Corey Ozis, and today on Redneck Ruckers we're going to install solar panels. Now today we're going to teach you the basics of installing a solar panel. Basically you need the panel, you need a charge controller, and you need a battery. And basically that's all you're going to need to bring in a solar charge to charge up your batteries, so then you can use your 12 volt power or 24 volt power depending on what you design and how you set this up. Myself, I prefer to use a 12 volt system because a lot of things are designed on 12 volt, and that's what I choose to use. Hey guys, so today I'm going to hook up a solar panel. I'm just hooking up a 100-watt solar panel. I bought a little 10 amp charge controller made from EP-Ever. It's an MTTP charge controller. I prefer to use the MTTPs. Myself personally, it's got all kinds of settings in it, and it'll help regulate overcharging, and it'll tell you what you're bringing in, what you're sending out, and it's really easy to set up. You basically got three ports on this. You got your solar panel where you put your panel in, your battery out, and then you go out to the devices that you're running. And then basically when the charge controller, when the battery hits too low of a charge or too low of a drain, the charge controller itself will shut your system down so you don't kill the battery, and vice versa. When the sun is powering your panels, it will stop from overcharging. It'll only let you have your your 13.8 volt at max charge. So yeah, my recommendation is the EP-Ever charge controllers. You can also buy the ones from EcoPower. They're pretty much the same. They look pretty close to the same. Yeah, and you can find them on Amazon, or that's where I bought this from, is Amazon. Okay, so right now I'm going to mount the charge controller into the trailer. So I'm going to be building a little mount system that I just bracketed to. It's going to be mounted right down here, and we're going to have the charge controller mounted right underneath this charge controller, and then the panel will be coming into the charge controller and into the battery, which I got a big giant battery in there. It's 140 amp hour battery, and yeah, that's what the charge controllers are charging. I like to use a thick wire from the charge controller to the battery, usually a 10 gauge, or the thicker the wire anyways. If you have too small of a wire, then you'll create a resistance, which then will heat up the wire and could catch fire. So you don't want to use too small of a wire when you're charging a battery. So fire prevention, you use a thicker wire from the charge controller to the battery. Okay guys, so when hooking up a solar panel, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to hook it up to the battery. Before you even hook up the solar panel itself, you're going to hook the charge controller to the battery first before putting in power directly from the panel, giving it somewhere to put the power as soon as you hook it in, not surging out the charge controller. Guys, when most people hook up a solar panel system, they use a bigger charge controller and they hook up multiple panels to the one charge controller. Myself, I'm doing it a little differently. I'm hooking individual panels to individual charge controllers. Yes, it is a little bit more expensive. However, if one panel gets shaded out, that charge controller and panel won't bring in much of a charge, versus the other ones that are still in the sun will bring in a charge. If you have 5 panels, let's say, on one charge controller, then soon as the sun is shaded out from one of the panels, it cancels out all the panels that are on that one charge controller. So having multiple charge controllers will stop that from happening. Basically, if one panel gets blocked out, the rest of the panels will continue to still charge. Okay, so now I'm up on the roof. We're going to put in the solar panel, run the wiring through the roof to the charge controller, and then we're going to hook it up to the charge controller, and then other than fastening this thing down to the roof, it should start charging the battery. Okay, Now the panels are on the roof. Now I got to run the wiring to the charge controller, and pretty much we're going to see how it works and how it's charging. And yeah, it should increase the intake to the battery, adding the whole extra panel. Okay, so I now plugged in the solar panel, and then I plugged the wires to the battery. So now the panel should be charging, and we're bringing in 3 amps, or 0.3 of an amp of power at the moment, because the panel is shaded outside a little bit. So you want them to be in direct sunlight if you can help it. But at this time of the day, I have a lot of trees blocking the panels. So we're not going to get the full potential of the panel. That's how you hook up a solar panel to the trailer. We hooked up now 2 charge controllers. We have 2 panels running up top. I have a 250 watt panel is the big one, and the little one is 100 watt. So the charge controllers are, that one there is bringing in the 250 watt panel, and the other one is a 100 watt panel, and that's bringing in. And we have 2 more panels that we're going to set up in the future. But for now, this provides me the lighting that I need in the trailer. And eventually we are going to hook up a inverter, and we're going to be able to put a power inverter soon, so that way we can hook up a TV, DVD player, or even a small computer, laptop, be able to plug in your phones. And yeah, we'll have power in the trailer running off the battery and the solar panels. So yeah, it costs a little bit to get going, but once the initial setup is, it's free power. Hey guys, if you like what you see, subscribe, and make a comment if you see something I did wrong or something I could improve on. Drop me a message, and yeah, we'll set it up on the next panel. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.